Live. What is
Yeah.
up? What is up, everybody? This is Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProjects.com in the Beat Brothers YouTube channel, and we got Bryce here as per usual because he is the other host with the most here.
Yes. Yes.
In
We are the Beat Brothers. You know.
yes. So, man, how well? I guess first of all, where can people find you on the lines?
What's that? What'd you say? What was that?
Oh, I said, so where can people find you, sir? If it's not obvious enough.
IG upright.music at IG. If you want to find me, if you want to connect, let's connect. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. You, where are you at? You're right there. Yeah, I want to talk to you.
All right. So you heard him.
What about you?
Yeah, you can find me at where at? I don't remember. Marsh Comics on Instagram. I'm not there as much lately because of weird technical things. But TikTok and Facebook now, I guess. I don't know. I don't really show my Facebook because it's like that'll probably be taken down eventually. So but you can find me here and there. Actually, it's a cool place to find me now is I have another YouTube channel called Planet Plex. And that is just for like a place where I can do like live streams doing music and whatever I feel like doing with music, kind of without trying to worry about making an amazing video or whatever, but something where you can follow along and listen to what I'm working on,
Right.
as it happens. So check that out. So that being said, though, we wanted to talk today about the art of crafting and finishing songs. And this is kind of to tail on last week's episode, which was the art of crafting albums. And this is something we both have experience with, and we both have had many misstarts and sometimes finishes as well. And we're on the journey just like you guys are and gals. And we're here to just kind of share our thoughts on how exactly you approach this thing. So
I guess my first question would be to start this whole thing off: singles versus albums. What is your thought on that? Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I was actually tempted to call this this stream a couple single-minded dudes or something like that. We're single-minded or something. Right. So singles, man, like it's interesting. But I think we might have talked about this before, but Bryce sent me a video at one point talking about where one guy was talking about how, the way maybe a smarter way for musicians to go about things these days is to do singles as opposed to full albums, because that gives you more opportunities to kind of promote your stuff. Like you're promoting more things more often. And it also, there's opportunities to get into like playlists and stuff like that with your songs and a bunch of other points, and I kind of forget what some of the other ones were, but that's kind of what I remember from it. And, I think there's something to that. That being said, I do love the album format. I have, I'll always have like a soft spot in my heart for the album, because I spent a lot of time listening to albums. I still do. So,
yeah. So I just want to chime in real quick. I know I had someone just release a full album that's connected to me, and it's hard to sit through a full album. But right away, if someone releases a single, I know as soon as I press play, do I want to finish this or not? That kind of thing. Yeah. So I've noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as we kind of talked about, last week too, is like, not everybody has the attention span, for a full album these days. And I don't know, I don't really relate with that, but because I listen to full albums all the time, like every day, pretty much. So
Yep.
I just like
Yeah.
that format. I like to see the journey, of in the progression of a full like creative thought via an
Right.
album.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, there's also a very long tradition of singles in music. And I mean, if you look back to like the 50s and 60s and probably other times, that's what you mostly had, at least to start with, was 45s, that would
Yep.
have maybe 4 tracks on a whole record.
Right.
uh or usually it would be 2 tracks, one A side and B side.
Yeah, the B side. Yeah. Yep.
And that's how people kind of made their way. And it back then it was a marketing strategy, and today it's a marketing strategy.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
But there's also
Yep.
something to be said for that kind of creative flow as well. You're saying one thing and you want to focus in on that one thing.
Right. Right.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. It's just a different format.
Yeah. So how do you feel about a single release versus an album? That contrast to you, in your opinion, what does that say to you?
Well, I mean, I feel like, because traditionally what I kind of think of is like a single is like, there'd be times where when I was growing up, where there would be a group or a musician and they would release a single.
Yeah.
And that would be all you ever hear of them, or they'd release like 2 singles, but their album was a flop. They really they didn't have much else in them.
Wow. Yeah.
And I don't want that. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder.
Right.
But currently, I'm a no-hit wonder, so one hit wouldn't be bad. So I don't know. What about you? What do you think about the idea of singles versus
I don't know.
albums?
I feel like a single is an opportunity to make a statement. Like for me, excuse me, the singles I've listened to have been like block rocking. Like, just when I think of like singles in the past, I think of like stuff that you can't get anywhere else that has been phenomenal. That's kind of my whole like thing with it. But today is totally different thing though.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool if there was a way that a single could have a B-side track too.
Yeah.
I mean, you could release 2 at a time, but then I guess it doesn't sound like a real single in the internet world.
Right. Yeah.
And this, I don't know if this was a thing of our specific time growing up or not, but like there was also the thing called the maxi single, which it's like maybe it's like the difference between an EP and a single or something. Like I don't know, but there's one I remember, like I think that's probably one of the ways that Fuji's really made their mark, was in between their first and second album. They had a maxi single for what was that song, Mona Lisa. And that if you listen to that album, that's like the only song that makes you think of what is to come, which is The Score, which is one of the most amazing albums ever made.
Absolutely. Yep.
And on that maxi single, there's probably like I can't remember. There was a lot of songs actually on it. There was remixes. There was extra songs. I think there was
There was one there was one where they like spoke in their native tongue, like French and Creole. I don't know if you remember that one. Yeah. So there was a bunch of stuff on there, but yeah. So when it comes to releasing a song, tell me about it. I know you got something up on Spotify, baby. Let's go. Let's go. How did it feel? Okay. So for anyone that's not aware, we kind of challenged each other to release something. Friday, was it Friday? Friday we kind of came up with this. Okay, yeah. So Friday until now, this is Sunday. 2.5 days, I guess, to get something produced, the whole mastering process, all of that, and posted up on Spotify. Marsh came
before
through
the show.
Before the show. Yeah. Marsh came through. He killed it. Plex killed it. He annihilated it. His stuff is up on Spotify. Let's talk about that. How did that go? Can people listen to it now, or is it not available?
Well, technically it's not up on Spotify, not really of my own fault that, I'm not blaming myself, at least.
Right.
There's some weird, again, technology doesn't like me. I was listeling to DiBiase's album, Machines Hate Me.
And, yeah. I know the album. Yep. Yeah. Right.
But that being said, so there's a technical issue going on, but yes, I created a song, I mixed it, I mastered it, I created album artwork, I uploaded it twice.
Man, so dope, man.
So sometime in the near future, hopefully, I will have a song up on Spotify.
Yeah. Well, next episode, we will be able to link people to that song. So
yeah.
Stay tuned
hopefully.
On that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I went through the process. I did the thing and got it done in time. It was hard. It was a little worrisome. I started with one song and kind of was like, this is cool, but I don't know if this is where I want to go with my first song that I ever put on Spotify. And then I switched it up and did something totally new. So there was a point there where I'm like, okay, I hope I don't run out of time and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what staying up till 3 or 4 in the morning. So right. I got it mostly done by the time I went to bed this morning.
Okay.
And then once I slept for 4 or 5 hours and woke up and I finished the mixing.
Right.
I had to give my ears a rest anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mixing and album artwork I did last night. So, I just had to finish the mixing and upload it basically. So
right.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
So it was a fun, challenging process, but it was also, it was exciting.
Yeah. Do you feel like that added a little bit of pressure kind of helped things happen?
Yeah, that always happens. Like I've done a lot of challenges, like this, where there's kind of a time thing, or, it's always the case that, the extra pressure, it makes you make decisions.
Absolutely.
Where sometimes you would wander, and the thing is too is like finishing a song is not, I have like a huge discography of music.
Yeah.
If I ever finished them.
Yeah.
99% of it is in some form between starting and finished, but not quite finished.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
I know you can relate, man.
Yeah.
And I know you've released some stuff and you got other stuff. What's your experience, man, with this challenge? Because to me, I know you didn't upload a song, but I still kind of feel like you were pretty darn successful.
Yeah, it's I'm about to upload it as soon as we're done here. So it's going up.
Nice. Awesome.
But yeah, I feel like that added pressure was like exactly what I needed. Like, so I would say to anyone listening, like, get together with some people and just challenge somebody. Just say, hey, I challenge you to upload something, let's do it by this time, frame. I wish I would have had till next weekend, because I think I would have been able to get my upload done. But yeah, I'm this was great. This was great. I feel real good about everything that we did on this challenge. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is too is you finished the song, you know.
Yeah.
How did that process go of just making a song within that time, you know?
Oh man. I bounced some ideas off of you and some other people, and it just kind of helped me to kind of get perspective for the track that I, was crafting. It's hard to like. There were so many factors that kind of came into this. The pressure of the time, just wanting to get something up that I felt good about. My first track, I wanted it to, represent me well. So all that was factoring in, and there's so many, like my brain just like like there's so much going on in my mind. I'm like, man, is this good? Does it sound right? They want me to add this. They think I should take this out, or and all that. But it's all good, man. It's all good. I feel like in the process of even releasing one song, it's good. It's good pressure. It's good pressure. It's what you need as a creative person. So that's pretty much. I don't know. I can't sum it up any other way. It's just, it was great, man. I love the pressure. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Interesting. And to put it in a little bit more context, basically Bryce and I and some of our other friends, we chat all the time on Marco Polo and stuff. And he showed us, kind of the in progress, some of the stuff, and when he talks about, they wanted me to add some things and change some things, he means me. And so that being said, I don't know. I think, that's one thing that can be tricky.
Well, let me jump in. Let me jump in real quick. So, do you feel like it's a good thing to have somebody to like kind of dialogue about that, to bounce those ideas off of, to say, hey, maybe try this, or you know what I mean? Like, is that a good thing, or did it feel like it like kind of restricted you?
I think that it's really tricky, because once something is said, it's in your head, like
yeah, that's true.
And it's like, so like even the way you kind of said it, you're like, they wanted me to change it, like it's that's the kind of thinking that sometimes bothers me. Like sometimes people say stuff, and like even if they're right or wrong, or if I agree with them or don't, all of a sudden what that person said will become almost like a law in my head.
Yep.
And if I veer away from it, I start, it's like it becomes a problem a little bit, So
well, let me say
not
this.
So good within progress to get feedback.
Right. I had somebody tell me, hey, you should add this orchestration at this part. And I was like, nah, that's not happening. That is not happening at all. So I was like, nope. I X'd that out. I was able to just cut that out right away. So yeah. But no, I totally get you. Like on a like different level. Sure, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing too, is and I'm sure you probably talked to other people about it, not just me, but like I think that's another skill, is being able to get criticism to make something better.
Absolutely.
But also knowing when to disregard that is also important.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I mean, this all goes into the idea of like, how the heck do you craft and finish a song? It's not necessarily as easy as you would think.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is a thing for sure. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I guess there's a quote that I've heard many times. A lot of creative people use this, and I personally think it's pretty helpful. But somebody who's smart and famous said, "What is it? Artwork is never actually finished; it's only abandoned." And
That's deep.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like, because you can always do more. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. Yep.
But more isn't always better, though. So, it's tough to make this creative decision. It's just tough to make creative decisions.
It is. It is. It really is. I feel like the track I'm going to upload, towards the end there, I kind of went a little bit overboard. I'm like, should I do that? Okay. And so that's the finality of the track. At the hook, I went a little bit overboard, but it's all good. Yeah. And
well, I had a hard time. My thing, so one thing that I do with my beats these days, what I've been doing pretty consistently since I started back, is going in after the fact and doing koala performing techniques and doing them like kind of in a crazy amount. You don't typically hear people use it as much as I use it in a finished beat.
Right.
But to me, I just like it. I have fun with it. But I have been like, I want to try to be careful and not go too crazy. And there was an added pressure this time where usually, like, I have, 2 albums worth of beats, and I probably could, be at about a half an album more at this point, since, I don't know, a few months ago. And but those are also called beat sketches, and this is just like, I wanted a place where I could upload them, so I did that with Bandcamp, and I upload them for free. Now with Spotify, and we keep saying Spotify, but really it means everywhere.
Yeah, it's all streaming, right? Yeah.
So with that, it's like, okay, this is official.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I want to at least, give the illusion that there's some professionalism going on here.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted it to be, better and on point and mixed better, because there's definitely parts in some of the songs I've made so far that are really, really rough. So that was an added pressure for me. And I think when, because you see this sometimes, like, somebody creates like a Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, or Nas Illmatic, or I also think of like White Stripes albums for rock and roll that I really like. What album did those people do, specifically Wu-Tang and Nas, that ever lived up to their first album?
Man, yeah.
So
that's a good point.
It's like, okay, I have this much potential. Now it's time to do it again, and you're like, it's almost like how do you do that? Like, do you know what it is that made that first thing awesome, or was it just a thing of the moment?
Right. Yeah.
So, the art of crafting and finishing a song, it's not easy. And then there's other groups and individuals who have been consistent and found some way to consistently make really dope stuff. I think of like MF Doom or something. Like, how many albums does he have that's just
no
very
joke,
consistently awesome?
So thought process. When you were thinking about uploading this track, was it more like, man, I got to make this a banger. I got to make this like I want to shock the world. I want to change the creation with this one. Or was it just like, man, it is what it is? Like, tell me about that. Like, because I know as you're making a track, you're like, man, like I'm gonna upload this. What's my thought process on that? You know, I know where I was coming from. I want to hear where you were coming from.
Well, for me, it was it's basically like I want to upload a song to Spotify.
Okay.
But there was, because to me, like I've done that a lot with Bandcamp, but it was more pressure. It was more like I want to upload a good song to Spotify.
Right.
I kind of don't want it to be like, because I've been making like a lot of experimental dark type of beats lately.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to start out that way for some reason. I did kind of want like some kind of banger, something that represented a more like I don't know, something with a little more spectrum to it, you know. So that's what I did, and with this beat, it is like an underground, like grimy type of beat. There's a sample that definitely makes it kind of ties that, you know, puts that part in it. And then I used the modular on top of the sample, and with the sample, you know, I modulated the sample a little bit. And the stuff that's kind of on top, especially the bass line, is it's more like fun. So it's like you got like this griminess, but then the fun. And then I put in like some vocal samples that just made it like, yeah, this is hip hop. It fits. Like it's dope. And then the drums, of course, are banging, you know. So
dope.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I love this beat. Like I'm really happy with how it came out.
And just so you guys know, I'm a beat brother, but I don't get any exclusive rights to hearing his stuff before anyone else. So I'm excited to hear it, just like everybody else. Right.
What about you, man? What about like, what was your thought process as far as like, you know, you just kind of the same question? Like, were you like, I want to make a banger, you know, this one has to be good, or like, like this one just has to be a song that's on Spotify?
I wanted it to be definitely like I wanted it to represent me for sure. I wanted it to bang, but I didn't want to like overthink it. I just wanted to flow with it. You know, I wanted to let everything happen naturally. So that was like a huge part of it for me. It's just not like just being who I am, but not being weird or like trying to do anything out of the box. I just wanted to represent myself and put something up that I felt good about. And that's really what it came down to, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I feel like I was the same, you know. I wanted to put something up that I felt good about, and I do feel good about what I made. And from what I've heard so far of your stuff, I feel good about what you made too. I think it does represent you. So I don't know.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate that. So as far as like the track, just to get into your head a little bit, where did you start? Did you start with modular? Did you start with drums? Where did you start? Just to get an idea about the whole process, I guess.
Well, I started with modular and made a bunch of sounds, and I basically made a track, a 3-part track, drums, bass, and drums, bass, and you know, a sound. And then
drums, bass, and like a modular sound,
like what would be considered a sample, like the main melody thing. Or
Gotcha.
So, and I liked it, but it was, you know, on that kind of dark thing, you know, and it wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I was like, well, earlier on Friday, you sent the group chat some stuff that was it was the Dilla Lightworks, you know, sample material, you know, the sample that brought you know, that beat to fruition. And there was all kinds of other sounds in the same record, And I'm like, I am sampling that tonight. This was before I knew we were going to have a challenge to make a song. And honestly, I didn't want to make a song with samples. I wanted to stay away from samples for this first release because it's like, okay, it's going up on Spotify. You know, you got to kind of be careful of certain things you can and can't do. But you can do it. It's just there's some limitations. But that being said, you know, once I kind of did the whole modular thing and didn't love what I did, I was like, well, let me try sampling. So I did that. And so I ended up once again starting with the sample, which is how I've started most of my beats during my lifetime, is starting with some kind of vibe sample and then building around that. So I did that. And then, you know, I put it into a little sequence. It's pretty simple sample, but it had enough vibe there for me. And then I just, you know, I was like, okay, let's go into the modular. Actually I think I put drums on it too. And then I said, let's go into the modular, and I just basically recorded into Koala a sound and then kind of a top line sound to go above it. Or the first sound was a bass line, I should say a bass line, and then the top line thing to go above it. And then I went back into Koala, put it into an arrangement. Then I put that out to Cubasis, started working on the mix and the arrangement some more. And, just kind of pushed it up in Koala after that.
The rest is history, as they say, right?
Yeah.
Dope. I can't wait to hear it, man. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see both of our tracks up on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually upload mine. I formatted it. I know no one can see that back there. It's just a huge blur of light, but it's ready. It's there.
Yeah.
And
there is evidence.
Yeah, there's evidence there. In 100 years, you can zoom in and you'll be able to reduce the light and see all that stuff, and you'll see that I was not lying.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm gonna upload it and get it up by tonight for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to beat you. I wanted to, the challenge. You won. You know, hands up, don't shoot. I guess whatever they say. Right? You won.
I think we both won. I mean, honestly, like you finished the track, like that's,
yeah, and I think that was that was the good thing about this whole thing, just putting the pressure on each other to do something, and I felt that, and it pushed my creativity for sure, without question. I don't know about you, but like I would wake up and I'm like, I got to get back in there and get this done, So yeah, I love that pressure. I absolutely love it. Love it.
Well, awesome. Like, since you love the pressure so much, so what do you think about round 2?
Let's do it.
This time we get a week to do it.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Right here on the channel. Let's just announce it. Like next week. You want to do it next week? Like another single?
By next show, see if we can get another one.
Okay, so should we do a theme? You want to do a theme together? Like, this is raw, baby. You're everyone listening, this is absolutely raw right now. You want to do a theme, like a challenge for each other to do like some sort of theme?
I'm down for a theme, but I don't know if I have an idea right at the moment. But if you have an idea, let me know.
I do. I'm gonna just throw this out.
You have to use the collar bass. Ah, crap! I don't.
No. Let's do. I wanted to say trees. I don't know if that comes down to album artwork. And this is the thing me and Marsh talk about so much. We conceptualize so many different things when we're talking, like outside of this YouTube channel. But we talk about so much stuff. So like it could be a theme of trees or green, like a green, like just anything that inspires you, like as far as like green, um, trees,
Hey,
photos
let's
of
do it.
trees.
We can
Yeah.
do trees.
You want to do trees?
There's plenty. I'm already thinking of ideas like
Let's do it, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So
trees.
trees next week.
Mine's
Next
gonna
week,
be
come back.
mine's gonna
It's
be
on.
all weeded out. No,
Are
it's
you
not.
gonna go with weed?
Well, that's what they're like, they're smoking the trees, man. No, I'm not going that route, but
Okay.
there's gonna be so many Cypress Hill samples and
Oh snap! Okay, man.
so
We, me and Marsh will be dialoguing through the week, so that's what we do. You know, we we just love to be like creative and just like inspire you guys to be creative as well. So that's really what we're here for, right?
yeah, man, for sure. That's what it's all about.
So
Creating in a way that helps other people be creative as well.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, Marsh, talk a little bit about the process of getting, for anyone that doesn't know. Like, I'm sure a lot of people don't know about uploading their first song to Spotify or all of these streaming platforms. So, talk a little bit about that. How was that process?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, if you've never done it, I mean, technically, I was thinking about it. I have done it. I mean, I have had albums up and out on platforms,
Right.
and I used to use CD Baby for that.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and I think CD Baby, it's like Netflix before they stopped shipping like CDs to people or DVDs to
All
people.
right.
Like,
Okay.
they were kind of about the physical, and then it also got your stuff on iTunes
Yeah.
eventually,
Yeah.
and that was the big thing. And then
Yeah.
now Spotify, I'm sure they're still doing it. I don't know, but what I use now, and as of today, is DistroKid, which
Yep.
that's what technically that's what a lot of people typically use is
Yeah.
DistroKid. And it's definitely a better deal than
Mm.
CD Baby used to be monetarily. You just spend, I think it was like $35 for the second plan or whatever to upgrade to the second plan, and it's
Yep.
like for a year, like, and you get to upload as many songs as you want. Like, I could upload one every day if I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which actually I was thinking, like, I actually went through my beats, and I'm like, most of these I can't probably use unless I like redo them. But I have probably like three more tracks I could put up there. I just gotta make album work for.
Yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope.
So, but anyways, yeah, uploading I mean, you just go through a form and you upload your album artwork and the music, and you select all the things and write all the things in. But it should be as simple as that. But I run into technical stuff no matter what I do, it seems like. So at first it didn't want to take my album artwork, and I had to keep changing it and reformatting it until it finally would take it.
Right.
And then it said it was all uploaded and good, and then I get an email saying my music wave was 0 bytes, which and it said to make sure you check it before you put it up. And I'm like, first of all, that's kind of condescending. Like, who would not check their play their file before they upload it?
Right.
But second of all, like, I did check it. I know it was a good one. I've listened to it many times. Like,
man,
so,
that's crazy.
And it's not 0 bytes, so I don't know what's going on their end, but I re-uploaded it and I got the same email again. So I don't know. I have to figure that out. But if anybody out there knows, I know obviously there's people out here who have probably put stuff on Spotify. If you know, please let me know. Find me.
Man, that's crazy.
But so eventually the song will be up on Spotify and all other places, but we got to figure that technical issue out first. So
got you. So a little bit of issues there on the back end, but yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So also though with this is I think it's easy to be like, especially if it's your first time uploading to a platform, it's like, it's easy to be like, okay, yeah, it's the weekend. I got nothing but time. Like, you know, I could make a song and upload it, but it's not as simple as that because you have to conceive of the song, create the song,
Yep.
mix and master the song,
Yeah. Yep.
create the album artwork for the song,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
man.
then upload it and hope that
Yeah.
there's no technical difficulties.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, mixing and mastering is kind of not my forte. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've learned some things here and there. I know enough, I think, to get an okay mix, and I think I
Yeah.
did.
Well, your
But
mixes always sound great, bro. Like straight up, like you kill it. You kill it.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I just kind of go with what I hear and what I like, but there's technical things about sound that I don't know a lot about, that could help me, in my mix. But this is the time to learn it. So
Sure. Sure.
what I'm realizing is I have to take the time to learn it and
Yep.
also take the time to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of times I just kind of upload something that's kind of really incomplete when it comes to the mix. And, so I have to just honor that process. And I even found some enjoyment in that. So I just got to know that, okay, when it comes to finishing up the song, it's going to take me a little bit of time more than I want it to take. And that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, the whole process is just so much fun. Like the mastering process and the mixing process, like they easily like meld together. It's weird because I was, when I was making this track, I was thinking, no, just stop mixing things and finish what you're doing. So like I can quickly get into different modes when I'm making a track, and it's all fun to me. Like the whole process, like just getting the sounds right, getting the snare to sound this way, or the kick to sound this way, or bring this sound down. So all of that is happening at once, and it's one of those things where I have to say, hey, just produce the track, make the music, get back to that later, and that. It's interesting that you say that like that because it's a thing for me. It's like the whole process is like, I love it. I love all of it. If it's sound related and it comes to my music, I love all of it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is there's plenty to fall in love with it. Like I can get to the point. Like I do think it's interesting and fun to like EQ a sound and see how you can make it, different just by EQing it and things like that. That was a revelation for me many years ago that I even could do that. I didn't even know that was a thing. And when I did, it was like, oh wow, I can make, a vocal, sit in a certain spot in the mix, and as long as you get everything in their own little space, you're good. And I think that's, one thing. I was listening to some people talk today, and the person was talking about like, how do you mix stuff from Eurorack and it's all crazy and this and that, and you might have like 16 parts and it takes a long time. And I'm like, 16 parts? Are you kidding me? And I think you said the other day, you were like, you heard some advice where it was like, people only really hear like about 5 to 8 parts or whatever, and then the rest of it is kind of, it's not really going to even translate to the listener generally.
It's great. It's so crazy when it comes to like what you're trying to convey to the listener. It's all subjective. It's all like it's all about your ear and what you're hearing, and what you want, what you think people want to hear. Like if I want this snare to be 1,000 dB, then you're going to hear a snare that's 1,000 dB, and that's what I'm conveying to you. But if I want a piano that's 2 dB, how does that relate to that snare that's 1,000 dB? That kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's just, it all comes down to what you want someone else to hear. That's just what it comes down to, and what you want to hear, you know.
I think there's surprises too, like in what presents itself, and you can change it too, but
Right.
sometimes there's surprises because, like with the drums, so when I made the drums for this, I was listening to Sam I Am and DiBiase a lot kind of before I made these, just because they helped me get into that mode of like how to like arrange things.
I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it. with that inspiration, man. I can't wait to hear it. Sam I Am and DiBiase on that. I'm like already ready.
Well, I doubt I lived up to those guys, but that being said, like one thing I heard in one of Sam I Am's tracks, or some of them, is sometimes he'll be okay with like using some weird like cowbell tom sound that he found on the record as his snare.
Yeah. That's like, what I love that about you, man. You are so analytical when it comes to like making music. I've learned so much from you as far as that goes. Like you like when you listen, it's like, wow, like, man, the stuff you've talked to me about like this, it's like it's amazing. I love it. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do. I love sound, and I've been pulling songs apart my whole life, like, because I'm usually working or doing this or that, and I can't make music all the time, but I'm listening to it like at least I can analyze it,
Yeah.
So I'm always, I mean, I in my head I've deconstructed so many songs. So yeah, like I was thinking as I heard that, I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll try to do something with the samples that I find and use some creative things for the drums. And so I did that at first, and it sounded really cool, but it was that both the kick and the snare had like a really long tail on it. Like it had atmosphere, and I was just like, I had it and I liked it, but I still wanted the drums to punch more. And I don't know. I'm working in Koala, and I can't really EQ something really well in Koala like I'd want to. I guess I could if I spent some more time. I also was limited on time, so I ended up bringing in drums that I know are good, and then I still kept those things though kind of in there as like textures and stuff, but I put them a little bit different, some on the left and the right and blah blah blah. And so after I was done with a couple mixes and listening back, I noticed sometimes those textures would pop through, and I'm like, man, that sounds so cool, because like I didn't really intend it, but there's like a part in the beat where it's like all the snares are there and there's textures and stuff, but then there's like one spot where it's like it sounds like a whip or something, and it's just like emphasizing and it sounds cool, like so I don't know, it's cool what you can do with sound and what sometimes unintended happy accidents there are.
And there you go. Yep. Yeah, that's really good, man. Wow. Man, I wanted to say something, but I forgot. Anyway.
Well, what about you? You did some experimental stuff a little bit with this beat.
Well, right off the bat on Friday, when we kind of initiated this challenge, my first thought was I heard a sound in my head, and it was a synthesizer. This synthesizer on the iPad, and it's available for desktop as well. It's called Jussi, Jussi, and right off the bat, I don't know what it was, and maybe it was the clouds in the sky or whatever, but that synth came to mind. I was like, man, I got to use that synth. And that was the foundation of creating my track. So that was the inspiration to start the whole thing for me, was that track, and I think it's important, excuse me, to have something that kind of gets you going like that, to kind of spark an idea, like just thinking, man, I want to do this. Like, so with our next week's challenge, we're talking about trees, right? Or tree, whatever, like green, whatever comes to mind, just getting that dialed in and building off that, is what it comes down to. So for me, that synth, when we started this challenge, I told you, Marsh, I said, man, that synth came to mind right away, Jussie. And I told you, I said, man, I'm going to use this synthesizer. I don't know what it was. I can't really convey what it was exactly, but I know that I wanted to start there. And I feel like, just that whole process, just getting an idea of what you want to do, where you want to start, what inspires you is a great thing,
Yeah, totally. I mean, it always starts with some kind of spark.
Right.
Were you how do you think, like, are you happy with how it came out using that?
I'm really happy, man. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get this track posted up, man. I feel really good. As a first track on Spotify, you want it to really represent you well. And for me, man, I feel really good about this. And that's something I don't usually say. Like I usually hate everything I do. Marsh, like I hate everything. I hate all my music, right? But this I feel good about this. So yeah. Yep.
Well, I told you before, you don't have the right to judge your own music. I'll do it for you. So
there you go. There you go. Yeah. So what about you? How do you feel about your track?
Oh man, I freaking love it. It's
dope,
like, because the thing is all right. So I made a lot of beats, within the last few months, and
yeah,
I pretty much like them all, but
right.
There's like the ones that I even picked out to maybe put on Spotify. Pretty much, there's like a small handful of them that I'm like, yes, this is what I want my beats to sound like. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, what I made this weekend, it definitely fits in that category of beats, of the kind of beats I want to make. So I'm really happy with it. I'm also really happy. I feel like I learn some new things every time I make a beat, and I'm really happy that I was able to not only run the sample through the modular and put that in, also use my favorite app, Koala, and then also take that sample and build around it after the fact with the modular. Like, that's not something I could have done maybe 2 weeks ago, but now I know how to do some of that stuff. Like, it shows that I've learned and I've come a certain distance, at least.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight this before we I know we're pretty much going to wrap up here pretty soon, but getting feedback from people. This is kind of what EJB is saying here. Getting feedback while you're in the building phase or after it's done. Like, does it influence or pollute your vision, which is an interesting topic, an interesting thing here that he's saying. I think that's really interesting. Yeah. Do you share it with people and get their opinions? Because I've been doing that the whole time. I've made this track, sharing it with you, and kind of get your feedback, or do you wait until it's done?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I shared stuff with you, but I don't think you've even seen it yet.
No, I haven't.
But
I haven't. And that's the thing. We've come at this completely two different angles. I've shared stuff with you. You haven't shared anything with me.
Yeah,
which is interesting, right?
So, well, I did share stuff with you, but it's like it was more having to do with the mix, and you'll hear it. Like, I think you just didn't catch it yet, but it more has to do with like the mix, because I feel like actually making the beat part, sometimes I think I do have to like just be like, no, I'm focused on making the beat.
Right.
Like, even with like doing live streams and stuff, I have a hard time because
Mm.
it's hard to focus on the live stream and that, but that's a little bit of a different issue. But making the music, so it takes focus, you know, it
Right,
really
for
does
sure.
take focus to do
For
it.
sure.
And to stop and get somebody's opinion,
Right.
and then go back and then have that stuff in your head.
Right.
I feel like I do that sometimes, but it's if I get stuck, you know.
Right. Gotcha.
And I didn't exactly get stuck. I guess I got stuck in the beginning because I didn't like the initial route I was going. So maybe I talked a little bit there. But then once I kind of found my little groove, I just went with that until I was done. But then it was the mixing part is the part that I'm not great at yet. So that's the part where I got a little stuck, and I was like, hey, what do you think about this type of thing? And, you know, so that's that. I guess it's just when I get stuck. But yeah, like as far as the creating, it's a kind of a challenge to have other people's voices in your head. I have enough voices in my head as it is.
So yeah. I'm with you on that. So one more question to kind of sum things up. Are most people buying single track placements and just adding them to a massive shuffle playlist? So, you know, for me, I've been listening to a bunch of different artists, specifically Moo Latte. You know where I'm at on that, Marsh.
That's actually what sparked this whole challenge was Moo Latte.
It did, man. Yeah. So it's an interesting topic, singles versus full albums. I don't know. I have no idea how Spotify works, but I feel like if you can get a good single up that catches a playlist, I don't know, somehow, I don't know, you may have an opportunity to kind of expand your listening audience. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Marsh, but I feel like singles are just, not only does it keep you like prolific, just like, man, just release a single. Like, don't function or don't worry about a full album, you know, just release a single and like keep that your target. Like you can do a track a week or whatever, 2 tracks a week or whatever. Like for me, it's probably going to be 1 track a week, but you know, just focusing on that is a lot less difficult than focusing on a whole album. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like I know people that have released albums recently, and it's like 21 tracks. It's like, man, I'm not going to make it through that. Unless I really love you, unless I really like you, you know, I'm going to go back and listen. I might make it to track 4 on one day, but am I going to make it through that whole 21 track playlist? Probably not.
It's got to be really good.
Yeah, you got to be like
some of the best
Madonna, or like who else? Somebody else. Michael Jackson.
I mean, some of the best albums that were ever made were not very long, you know, 10 to 12 tracks, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact number on all these albums, but I'm pretty sure Illmatic is about 10 to 12 tracks.
Illmatic. You know, listen to it. If you're a youngin' and you don't know about Illmatic, go listen to that. I'm telling you, One Love. Go listen to One Love, and then listen to the whole album, and then come back and thank me.
One of the best. Yeah, definitely. It's one of the best albums ever, hip hop albums ever made, for sure.
For sure. Yep.
And I mean, you know who did do a longer album successfully, but this is rare. I mean, and they approached this like it was a movie, though. Like it was, and that's, you know, Fuji's The Score.
Yeah, that's a sick
longer album, but man, there's so much talent packed into that thing.
Like, absolutely, but you know what, Marsh? On the real, like even listening to that today, I'm like, okay, I love it. I could listen to it straight through, but man, like, would I expect my listener to listen through, like, well, how many songs is that? Do you know?
I don't know, but I know it's more than like 10. Yeah,
so I can't expect somebody today to listen through more than like 3 songs, you know, 3 or 5 songs, right?
Yeah.
So
that album too, like I could probably, skip the cowboy song and skip like some of the skits. They kind of went a little crazy with the skits, but I don't know, to me it's a classic album,
Yeah, I agree with you.
There's some parts where I'm like, okay, I didn't have to listen to that one again, but whatever.
Right. So let me ask you this. So if Joe Schmo shoots you an email, he says, "Hey, check out my album," and you open it up on Spotify and it's 15 songs. Are you going to listen through the whole 15, or how does that work for you?
I'll probably listen to all 15 because I don't want to have to tell him that I didn't.
Okay. So it doesn't really depend on how the first song hits you or this and that.
Out of guilt, I will.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, I mean, if it's just like somebody like sending me an album and I don't have a personal connection to them and they're just like, "Hey, I want to show you this," and I kind of not super like, if it was you, I'd listen to it absolutely. If it was like just some person who I haven't had much discussion with, like I might not get through it for sure. Like if it's like I'm 3 songs in, I've done this before actually. If I'm like 3 songs in and I'm just like, okay, I get it, I don't need to hear anymore. Yeah, it's hard to get through some albums, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the whole topic of like singles versus full albums is a real thing. I mean, so for example, Mulate, he has a lot of singles up. I'll throw up a single of his, and right away I'll know, man, this is a vibe. I'm feeling this right away. And I don't have a whole album to listen to. It's just one track, So right away I know, okay, man, I'm feeling this. I can add it to my playlist right then and there and just vibe out to the track. So that's I think for me, singles have kind of impacted me in that way. It's like when I'm listening to something, as soon as I hit play, I know right away I'm vibing with this. I'm connecting with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, Spotify, and there's other platforms too, but Spotify is kind of the big one. But like, the thing is they kind of cater to that too, from what I understand, because I'm kind of new to using Spotify, but from what I understand, a lot of the way people listen to music nowadays with Spotify is there's all these different moods or like music to listen to while riding your bike, music to listen to while washing the dishes. Like, there's like all these. So it's like, how does my boom bap instrumental with squares on it fit into that? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not quite sure. Or how does like my modular noises fit in there? Like, so I don't know what music that is. So then there's also, okay, you might follow an artist, then at least you'll find some. So with like, if I look up Sam I Am, they have 2 things, like after you scroll down a little bit and it says Sam I Am Radio, which means this is Spotify's algorithm. Putting together a playlist of things that you'll like because you like Sam I Am.
Yes.
And then there's this is Sam I Am. And this would be like a mixture of all their songs from different albums, different singles, whatever.
Okay.
But this is at least the same artist.
Yes.
So it's playlist driven,
Right.
So if you want to go with just singles, you can probably just have as much impact or maybe more. I mean, you were telling me about Mulate's numbers. Like, he's got a lot of plays, insane amount of plays, and he mostly has singles. And that's actually what sparked, like, why are we talking about albums? Maybe we should just make some singles.
Yeah, man.
Just to start. Least,
Yep. Yeah, I wanted to shout out my boy Wes, man. He's a super hip hop head, man. This dude knows this guy's been so inspirational to me. I'd love him, man. But Illmatic, that's all you got to say, right?
I know, right?
That's all you got to say. Illmatic, baby, right there. It's my man.
You really can't. I mean, you could say one. There's another word you could say, the chronic.
That's true. That's true. That's right. It's like
hard to say which one's better. They're both.
Yeah. They're both
kind of
dope.
one of the best hip hop
Absolutely.
albums been happening.
Yeah. And I think Wes would agree with that for sure. So yeah, he's my boy, man. He's been helping me so much.
West Side.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So man, I guess that kind of wraps it up. For episode, what is this, 4,000 for us?
4,002, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We're right there. Yeah. So what's up, man? Yeah. So anyway, Marsh, man, thanks for having me again, man. I'm just your beat brother.
Yeah,
you know,
that's how it goes, and I'm just happy that with the time bomb clicking off back there, that it hasn't gone up. Yeah. I don't know why they installed that in your house.
Yeah. One day you're gonna see me like just explode into the wow, like
it'll be the Big Bang. That's when all the songs will come
right.
Come out of your hard drive and end up on Spotify.
Right.
That's the Big Bang I'm looking for.
Yeah, man. Love it. So yeah. Final thoughts from you. Uploading a single to Spotify. Man, that's what this is about. What final thoughts on that, Marsh? Come on.
Well, man, I'm just looking forward to next week, to be honest,
okay.
We're gonna go with the theme of trees and see, let the leaves fall where they may.
Man. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. I'm gonna get some artwork from you. Actually, I'm gonna have you draw some trees. I feel like let's do this. The same album artwork for both songs from you, like some sort of trees, like you drawing it because you're an artist, right? So you draw some type of album artwork and 2 different songs, same artwork. What do you think?
Yeah, I could vibe with something like that. I'm probably not going to draw trees because trees are actually really hard to draw. They're complicated.
Okay.
But no, I don't know. I'll draw something that's related to trees, and that'll be cool. That's a cool idea, actually.
Yeah,
I actually really like that idea.
Yeah, same album artwork, 2 different songs.
Sweet.
That way we can't get flagged or like banned or anything like that. It's just artwork.
Well, actually, they do. They're a little bit weird about all that stuff. Like they don't want you doing anything the same as anything, but But I'll probably vary it up a little bit, so at least one different than the other, like maybe a different color or something.
Okay,
but, dope. But yeah, that'll be cool because I had so much fun making the artwork for this stuff. So yeah, that'll be cool.
Dope. Challenge on, everyone.
Yes.
Here we go. Next week.
Single number 2.
Single number 2, man. Love it, man.
Awesome.
So yeah, there we go. Yeah, man. That's it, I guess. Right.
Yeah. So, look forward to that. Once again, you can find Bryce at upright.music on Instagram. You can find me at Marsh Makes on Instagram and on TikTok, and Planet Plex on YouTube. We're gonna see you next week, and we'll have to share with you these beats we've made somehow. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, next week we'll I don't know, maybe in the description we'll post links to.
We can put links, but it would be kind of cool to see. I think there's ways you can play songs. I know you can play videos, so I'll make a video of my beat or something.
Okay,
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll get it dialed. We will get it dialed in. We're just getting started here, So
all right.
Anyway, Beat Brothers YouTube, subscribe, and hit the bell notification, all that stuff. That we're here for you. We are here for you. There's more stuff coming, right, Marsh?
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us in the chat and on the replay. You guys all rock. Feel free to comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on all this. And with that, we are out. Thanks for watching.
Peace, everybody.